Listen, real quickly, your thoughts.
We hand it off to Herschel. There's a hole. 5, 10, 12. He's running over the people. Oh, you Herschel Walker. My God almighty, he ran right through 2 men.
Yo, bum, 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 bum. Dude. Okay, first of all, a lot to unload because it's the first time we've recorded for 2 weeks. I felt like for the most part, I was pretty gracious about Florida winning, except that night when I was hammered. Would you agree? Would you agree? If not, that's cool. But I was hammered the first night.
Yeah, I mean, if you just discount the entire first night, sure.
But, dude, okay, to my defense, I made a deal with one of my buddies that I would funnel a beer after every touchdown or after every score. So, I got a little twisted, bud.
Parker, you need Jesus.
I love Jesus. I love Jesus, but I drink a little and I cuss a little. Lord, forgive me. I'm sorry, Tripp. Look, here's the deal, man. Lots to unload over the last 2 weeks, but I want to straight up ask you this question.
Okay.
Right now, to the past 2 weeks, is Kyle Trask your Heisman front runner?
I think if it's not him, the only other option is Mac Jones. Like, those are the only two that I think have arguments right now. Justin Fields hasn't played enough games. Trevor Lawrence missed the game in the last 2 weeks because of COVID. I think those are the only two that really have arguments.
So Mac Jones and Kyle Trask. So because the COVID stuff with Florida that happened and then the bye weeks and stuff, they both have played 6 games. And then Trevor Lawrence missed a game, but he still played 6 games. So they were comparing like 6 games, 6 games, 6 games. And it was like, of course, like Mac Jones had like 23 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Kyle Trask had 28 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Kyle Trask had more yards. Their QBR was like the difference of like 1 point.
Yeah.
But to me, it's going to –
to me, the big thing that stands out against Trask right now is the loss to A&M.
Correct. That's what I was going to say.
But that does factor in. And the good thing is unless something just insane happens, we're going to see them play against each other in Atlanta. So we'll get to see them head to head. So that'll help determine. But that's the big thing to me against Trask, and I hate that because obviously he plays offense and he can't control what happens on the defensive side of the ball or whatever. But he does have the loss to A&M, and Mac Jones just obliterated.
That's what I think if their stats stay similar throughout the season, it's really just going to come to the head-to-head matchup. Now, if Kyle Trask goes out and throws 6 touchdowns every single game from here on out, I just don't know how you don't give it to him. But I think if you see Mac Jones and Kyle Trask, 5 touchdowns apart, a couple touchdowns apart, a couple 100 yards apart, then it's really going to come down to the SEC championship game. And I do think Justin Fields is going to put up damn good numbers. I just don't know if he'll have – I mean, he's playing less games. So, plus it's the cool thing I like about it too is they were comparing Joe Burrow's stats through 6 games versus Trask stats through this 6 games. And Trask has him beat on almost everything except completion percentage. But that's against 6 SEC opponents. Joe Burrow played Utah State and 2 other cupcake teams. So I just like looking at that stuff. I mean, I know I don't know. It's just cool to see. I know obviously the most sensitive subject right now as talking to a Georgia fan is quarterback play. But the Gator, dude, been there, done that. So obviously I want to talk about if the chance, as much as I can talk about Kyle Trask and the elite quarterback play, I'm going to, because I did go through Austin Appleby, Trayon Harris, Luke Del Rio, shit like that. So, bro, you just look depressed.
I am depressed, man. I am depressed. We talked about
it. Get your energy back. Tell the people what's been going on with you, bro. Because Tripp's lost his passion, y'all. Tripp's down in the dumps. I've never seen him like this.
I just don't know if college football is worth the heartache.
Bro, shut the fuck up.
Just
You don't mean that. You don't mean that. You know you don't mean that. Stop it. Tripp. Tripp, if I can make it through 2, 4, and 8 seasons, you can make it. Tripp. Stop this.
It's tough, bro. It's tough. I don't know. I'm excited for this week because the rumors are we're going to get to see JT Daniels.
Yes.
That's the rumor.
Okay. Another thing is, what's up with George Pickens? Is he back? Because I think he's back.
I don't know what's going on with him, dude. There's been so many rumors about it's not an injury, it's behavior and I mean just George Pickens stuff. Like don't get me wrong, the kid is a beast. He's a monster. But he's always got something going on personality-wise, whether it's getting in fights or spraying people with water bottles on the sideline or, it's just always something. And
bro, I'm being for real. If that kid is a first-round top 5 pick, and the only thing that's going to hurt that is his attitude.
Yep.
Like he's going to drop like 2 or 3 rounds if he doesn't shape it up, which he might already have. But
dude, one thing that I wonder, like, do these guys not know that factors in?
I think they do, but it's like some people just don't care, dude. Like, I don't know. People just, a lot of these kids, like, I can say from experience, like, I like to talk trash. I get heated. Like, in the moment sometimes you just do it. But, I mean, obviously I'm not an NFL prospect, nor was I ever. But I don't know. It's just different, I guess. But something I want to talk to you about, which we talked about, which I think is insane, is what the fuck is up with LSU? Why is this not getting covered more? Why has there not been any sanctions? It's getting ridiculous.
Bro, I sent you that article about kind of what's going on at LSU, and has there ever been a quicker fall from grace?
So,
like,
no.
Has there ever been
But this happened. I remember these allegations came out like 2 or 3 years ago, dude.
Yeah, but
they've still been
like last year, Pete national championship to what they are this year is insane.
Okay, so let me ask you this. On topic but off topic. If Georgia could win a national championship like LSU did and then have the fall like LSU did this year, would you take it?
No.
You wouldn't?
No, because the fall would make me so unbearably angry and hurt that I would.
No more 1980 jokes, nothing. You have a natty. You witness a natty.
Doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter.
This is the thing, though. LSU will be fine next year.
Yeah. The worst thing, here's the thing. For me as a fan, the worst thing is not having a bad season. The worst thing is failing to live up to expectations.
Yeah.
It's different if you don't expect your team to be good. But when you expect to compete for national championships and SEC championships and you don't, that's what sucks.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, though, I felt like just looking at it from a Georgia's point of view, did you guys not see this coming this year? I mean, okay, I'll say this. Did you not see this coming after Jamie Newman opted out?
No, I didn't because, first off, I thought JT Daniels was going to be healthy and know the offense well enough to play before now. But for two, like, say what you want about Kirby, he manages to win games even when we have a down quarterback or a down offense or whatever. That's just what he's done. So okay, let's just be really honest right here. We've lost 2 games against 2 of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are you depressed? You're gonna go
because the expectation is to be in the SEC championship and potentially college football playoff. That's the expectation.
I have another thing that's gonna make you die laughing.
Like, that is the expectation. So when you miss that, it sucks. And I get there are other fans out there who are dealing with much worse and their team is way worse and all that. And they're right.
You could be Penn State. You could be
That's the
Michigan.
problem is when you start winning and you start expecting to do well. Like Alabama loses one game and their season feels like a loss, right? Well,
Correct.
that's where Georgia's at. I mean, and that just shows you where the program's at. Like 2 losses is not acceptable at this point.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, for example, Florida fans, like, our expectation was to go undefeated this year. I mean, at least until the SEC championship. So the Texas A&M, like, for example, the past 2 seasons when we won double digits, but we didn't get to the SEC championship game. Yes, we would love to beat Georgia, but we were happy with where things are at. But now that ladder has climbed. So I see what you're saying. Like, if we were to lose to Georgia again this year, I would have been like, fuck this. I would have been like you, right? So, especially like, I mean,
and it would also be different if the game had just went the way where I was like, oh, we had no chance to beat Florida.
Yeah.
But it's literally like our receivers, like at times burnt your DBs and we just couldn't put the ball on them. Or we just couldn't cover a wheel route. Or we had a pick 6 near the end of the game and just dropped it. Things like that. So, like, I'm the kind of person, I know not everybody's this way. I'm the kind of person where if I'm going to lose a game, I'd rather get destroyed. Like, I don't believe in moral victories. Like,
yeah. I mean, I get you. Like, it's kind of like I wouldn't want to get destroyed, but I see what you're saying because, like
if we're in a position to win, I expect us to win.
Yeah. I mean, that's what separates, championship teams from, like, think about. I don't know. I'm with you. I mean,
and like, here's the other thing is that it would not matter as much. It would not be as bad with the quarterback play if I didn't see things like Jamie Newman opting in to play in the Senior Bowl. Or,
that's fucking. So what's crazy?
Or watching Justin Fields ball out. Like, those things make it worse.
That's how I felt with Will Grier and Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Cam Newton especially. Will Grier was like, ooh.
Dude, I definitely know how you felt now watching Cam Newton.
Yes, that's the equivalent with Justin Fields.
I definitely know how you felt now.
But it was kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's tough. Trust me. Like, especially when you have like transit, like players who are going to change the game or change the game completely. But another thing that I thought you would think is funny is they came out with what's the like the head coach of the year award. I forget what it's called, but guess who was on the watch list for the head coach of the year award?
Who?
Gus. Dude, what is wrong with these people? I have no clue, dude.
Wow.
Dude, and that man is still going to be Auburn's head coach next year. That's hilarious. So, also another thing we haven't talked about either, Will Muschamp.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. Will Muschamp, gone.
I mean, we've talked about him the past 2 to 3 years.
Who do they get, you think? Hugh Freeze?
No. I think Hugh Freeze is in a situation that he wants to stay in for at least another year or 2.
Yeah.
I think he hasn't made it Liberty.
I mean,
Liberty, he's able to be. I don't know. I'd be surprised if Hugh Freeze left Liberty for South Carolina, right? Because it's like Hugh Freeze is essentially going back to the position he was in at Ole Miss, where it's like, okay, you're in the SEC, but you're not a top tier program. You're still gonna have to compete like against Alabama. When he was in Ole Miss, he was competing against Alabama. He was competing against Auburn, LSU. Same thing with when you go to South Carolina, you're competing against Florida, Georgia, right? So, and then you have to play Clemson every year. So it's like, I think if he comes back to Power 5, sorry, there's a airplane from everywhere else. But I think if he leaves Liberty, it's going to be to go to another. I think it's not going to be the SEC, but I could see Coastal Carolina's head coach going.
Dude, it's tempting though. Like, yeah, the situation at Liberty's nice and cush, but don't you think he kind of wants to get back to SEC and improve himself?
I don't know, man. That man dealt with a lot of scrutiny.
Well, yeah, because he was dropping bags to the point that the NCAA had to get on him.
Well, that's my point. Is like when he goes back to the SEC, he's going to be under the microscope again.
Yeah, but you just got to be smarter, man. I mean, it's like we talked about earlier. Like
All coaches drop every team drops bags.
Every major program in college football is dropping bags. You just can't do it in a way like, okay, Ole Miss should not have the number one recruiting class multiple years in a row.
They shouldn't even be in the top 5.
That's what I'm saying. So you have to, like, it's different if, like, oh, you get to a point where you're competing for SEC championships and then you have the number one recruiting class.
Correct.
But to be, like, at the bottom of the SEC West and have the number one recruiting class out of nowhere 2 years in a row, there's no way the NCAA can ignore that.
Honestly, Tennessee's suspected recently too, but Jeremy Pruitt's been around Alabama and Georgia, so they know what's up. But, yeah, I mean, I think it was Coastal Carolina, Cincinnati, head coach Luke Fickell. I mean, all the guys that I saw on the list are going to be, honestly, you know what blew my mind? Listen to this. So Jordan Rogers came out and said, if you're South Carolina, somebody that should be on your list is Brian Johnson, who is the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator for Florida. And he tweeted this out. And guess who retweeted it?
Who?
Dan Mullen.
Wow.
Which you kind of have to respect.
Guy, right?
You kind of have to respect, though. So Dan Mullen, so Brian Johnson played for Dan Mullen. He was 16 years old and took Utah to New Year's Six Bowl. So I think for Dan, it's just like, go get my guys paid. And I'm not obviously I'd love to keep Brian Johnson, but here's the deal. Like, it doesn't really matter because Dan's still going to call the plays and Dan's still the quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Right. So like, if my guy wants to go get paid, great. I just would hate to go see him go to South Carolina or rival school. But
I mean, I think
South Carolina,
like Dan strikes me as like a good dude who probably,
well, Dan's biggest pro is also one of his biggest cons, and that's his loyalty to his assistants.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. He seems like a good dude and like somebody who's going to put his assistants above himself.
Yeah, which I mean, like on the offensive side, I mean, I want South Carolina to hire Todd Grantham, so which is never gonna happen, but. I think South Carolina goes offense.
That's one thing that drove me crazy about the Florida Georgia narrative was that like Todd Grantham finally did something when it's like, dude, he did something against the worst Georgia offense he's faced yet. Like by far the worst Georgia offense he's had to go against.
Hey, but let me tell you what, Florida leads the SEC in sacks now. What's up? Todd Grantham's back. No, dude. I mean, Todd is Todd. We're always going to lead the SEC in sacks, but, third and Grantham. So, but, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with South Carolina.
I think either of those guys are ready for an SEC job, the Cincinnati coach or the Coastal Carolina coach?
Well, I mean, Coastal Carolina is the same thing as Eli Drinkowitz. I think he could do well. Luke Fickell, yes. Luke Fickell for Cincinnati's been in I believe he was at Ohio State for a while. I'm gonna look up South Carolina's coaching candidates, because I know Luke Fickell and I know there was a couple Clemson guys. You know what always blows my mind is that the defensive coordinator for Clemson hasn't been hired away yet.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
He's on the right job, and there's no way he goes to South Carolina.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised. Okay, so here are the odds for South Carolina's new head coach. So Billy Napier, who I believe is Coastal Carolina's head coach. Let me double check on that one. Billy Napier would be a good hire. He is the head football coach for Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns. So I could see that. Hugh Freeze, Shane Beamer, Luke Fickell, Bill O'Brien. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. But I don't know. If you're South Carolina, you take your time. You saw your boy Mike Bobo as their interim head coach. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. And I mean, I don't think there's I guess there's a chance. I doubt he gets like made the head coach after the season.
Let me ask you this. Oh, no, I don't think so either. Let me ask you this. Do you see any other SEC coach being fired this season?
I mean, Derek Mason, maybe.
I think I don't think so.
Go over.
Vandy could go over.
Like
Florida plays them this week.
They lost by 3 points to Kentucky this past weekend, but what? I mean, I'm about to look up their schedule. Like,
they play Florida this week, and they're a 31-point underdog. I don't know. I just think with it being COVID that no one's going to get fired. I think Will Muschamp,
I mean, but like I thought that about
maybe Ed O if some of these allegations stick.
It's got to be something crazy though.
So they play.
Vanderbilt plays Florida, Tennessee, us, and then Missouri.
Their best chances is Tennessee, and they're not going to win that game.
Like,
damn.
They could go over.
Yeah, they probably are.
And if you don't fire, I don't care if it is COVID. If you don't fire a coach after an over season, you don't care about your football program. Period.
Do you think they do?
I mean, at least a little bit.
Yeah, but who would they hire? Who wants to go to Vanderbilt?
Bro, what's the point of being in the SEC if you're not going to try to be a good football team? Like Vanderbilt should just change conferences if they're not going to put money into the football team.
Yeah, but they can't
Sure they can. Teams can put in to change conferences whenever they want.
Yeah, but Vanderbilt's good at other shit. They have good years at basketball. They're really good at baseball. They're good at golf. So
I get that, but it's just not okay. Let's just be honest for a second. Football is the only sport that matters.
Yeah. I mean, basketball and baseball are up there too.
Sure. Vanderbilt basketball and football combined, or basketball and baseball combined, probably don't make as much money as their football team does, and their football team is terrible.
Yeah, which is crazy because their football team, half the time at home games, the more tickets are sold to the opposing team.
Yeah, so it's
but they're never going to be able to compete for SEC championships because they don't have the facilities.
But that's what I'm saying is if you're not going to put in the money, then you need to change something. I just don't know what the point of staying in the SEC is, losing the games that you do. If you don't fire Derek Mason after 0-10, I don't know what the point is.
I think they give him at least one more season. He's done good things at Vanderbilt. I'd be surprised. I just don't see any urgency.
Compared to what? Compared to James Franklin?
Well, I mean, shit, James Franklin's having a terrible year.
But James Franklin's at a school. James Franklin's having a terrible year at a school that cares.
Yeah, really cares.
But that's what I'm saying is Derek Mason's having a terrible year at a school that does not care.
So why would they fire him?
Because, okay, James Franklin did well at Vanderbilt.
Yep.
He went to Penn State and is having a hard time because Penn State is a much harder ship to guide than Vanderbilt.
I'm going to look up James Franklin's record at Vanderbilt because maybe it's better than I thought. Let's see here. Okay, wow, yeah, he had 2 good years at Vanderbilt. Holy shit. Vanderbilt went 9-4 back-to-back seasons under James Franklin.
Yeah.
Damn. That is pretty fucking crazy, actually. What's Derek Mason's background? We've looked it up before, but
I'm about to look up Derek Mason because I mean, dude, I just don't know how you keep him if he loses 10 games.
So I think Ed O keeps his job, but I think Bo Pelini's gone. So
yeah. Oh, dude, he has to be gone. Has to be. So Derek Mason has coached at Mesa Community College, Weber State, Bucknell, Utah, St.
I'm
Mary's,
looking at his
New
stuff.
Mexico
Yep.
State, and Ohio. He was the
And then
defensive backs coach for the Minnesota Vikings. He was the defensive backs coach at Stanford under Jim Harbaugh. And then he became the head coach at Vanderbilt.
yeah, I mean, I just don't know who you hire if you're Vanderbilt, but you know, neither here nor there. I mean, not much to talk about this week. I mean, because we literally had like 2-3 games. But I mean, Felipe Franks returned to the Swamp. That was pretty cool. That's the first game I was able to go to this season. Probably the last game. I'm
you
contemplating.
went?
I did go. It was
How
a good
was that?
time.
What was the game like during all this COVID mess?
It was cool. I mean, it's not the same. It's like kind of depressing going to the Swamp, right? At a night game.
That's
And
how
you're
I
like,
felt. Like I wasn't even going to try to go to a game this year because I just felt like it'd be too sad.
I think it was just fun. I just was like, me and Grace were bored, and like the game was at 7, and it was like 4:30, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the game?" She's like, "Yeah." We spent like $100 per ticket, and we had really good seats. But I think I just wanted to go see. Well, number one, like I wanted to see the Gators play this year because like Kyle Trask is just fun to watch, and I wanted to see Felipe. When we sat on the Arkansas sideline, so like we got to see Felipe a good bit, and it was cool. And like seeing his interaction with Dan Mullen and Kyle Trask at the end of the game. I don't know. Did you get to see that?
No.
It was cool. So like Felipe and Kyle talked, like there was a big old like line to talk to Felipe after the game, and then like he and Kyle talked for a while, and then they had audio of him talking to Dan Mullen, and Dan was like, "Hey, because your leadership and your attitude, you were able to bring this football program back to the Gator standard. I'll be forever grateful for you. I love you."
Yeah.
And Franks was like, "I was telling Kyle, y'all's offense is amazing. He needs to go ahead and just get the Heisman. I love you guys, this, that, and the other." So that's cool to see because it's like,
Cool.
yeah. Because I know you and me talked about like, that's like the first time that, number one, like a kid's transferred like that, then played the school that, number one, a starter has transferred from a school, and the school and the players still love him and respect him.
Yeah,
right?
I think Felipe Franks could end up like being remembered very, like I think he might be very well loved by the SEC as a whole by the time he's done.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I mean,
I think like he's going to end up being somebody that SEC fans in general look back on and be like, this is a guy we like and we enjoyed watching play.
And he's had a great year. I mean,
yeah,
he's had a really good year. So I'm happy for him. Obviously, like when you go from Florida to Arkansas, more people are going to like you because it's like, and especially like doing what he's done for Arkansas, bringing that program, back. And he's,
speaking of Arkansas, Sam Pittman's got to be SEC Coach of the Year.
yeah, I mean, he's my vote, but it's
Gotta
like,
be.
so I think Arkansas has a couple more games where I think they could win. They play Tennessee. I hope Pittman's back this week. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, SEC for sure. I think it's tough when you look at it from a perspective like you only won 3 games kind of deal. But from where that program was, man, I thought they were a couple years away from like winning, 4 to 5 games. They play LSU, Missouri, and Alabama. So they beat Tennessee. That's right. I mean, they could be. So it's funny because did you see that last year LSU was a 48-point favorite playing Arkansas, and this year Arkansas is a 2-point favorite.
Say that again.
LSU was a 48-point favorite playing Arkansas last year.
Jeez.
This year Arkansas is a 2-point favorite.
Wait, did you say a 48-point favorite?
Yeah, it was in the 40s. I believe it was 48.
That's insane.
So Arkansas could beat LSU. They could beat Missouri. They're not going to beat Alabama. So, I mean, he could win. I mean, they could go 5-5, which would be, if they go 5-5, yeah, give him the damn.
Dude, if they go 5-5, he's an Arkansas legend forever.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Because, like, for example, like, so the year before Dan Mullen got hired, we went 4-8. and then we won 10 games, which is a 6-point spread. But it's like Florida still had talent on the roster. It was just
and
poor coaching.
Florida's just got such a different history than Arkansas.
Correct. That's my point. Is like he literally took Arkansas has good history.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's like,
sure. But they had been like they had not won an SEC game in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, even Vanderbilt was better than them.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, to me, Sam Pittman has got to be SEC Coach of the Year.
What if he doesn't win another game? Bro, they beat Auburn. That man, if he wins 5 games, he's really took that team 6-4. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, to be honest,
all SEC team and an all SEC schedule.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. They would have beat the two cupcake teams they would have played. So really, if he takes them to 5-5, they really would have been 7-5.
Yes.
And then they beat Arkansas. That's 8-4. That's fucking. Or, I'm sorry, Auburn. That's fucking nuts. Like, think about that. That is crazy. Like, if you're an Arkansas fan, I mean, I know I have a good look into some of the Arkansas fans will have, and family that are Arkansas fans, and like, I mean, even now they're like fucking super hyped. They're like, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you would be. I got my he's. I don't think he'll listen to this episode, so hopefully not. But my girlfriend's dad, he's a big Razorback fan, and I got him a shirt that is it's the state of Arkansas, and it says inside of it says yes sir.
Bro, I sent you the link to that and said
yeah
versus dad.
I did. Thank you. It's his Christmas present.
Let's go.
So, which is really cool. So,
and that makes me happy, man. I'm like Arkansas is a team that I want to see be good.
Arkansas is America's team, dude.
Like, I don't want to see Arkansas be bad.
That's what I text. That was
that are bad, and they're supposed to be bad. Like Vanderbilt is supposed to be bad. I like Ole Miss, but when Ole Miss is bad, I don't feel bad that they're not good.
Yeah,
like,
I don't really give a shit.
Like, I like Ole Miss. I've always kind of had a soft spot for Ole Miss, but when they're bad, it feels like, yeah, that's Ole Miss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas has richer history than Ole Miss.
Arkansas, I don't feel that way. I'm like, man, Arkansas needs to be good. Like, I need them to be a good team.
Yeah. And that state's diehard for football too, bro. Like, you don't understand. Like, there was a good bit of Arkansas fans in the swamp this weekend.
Yeah.
And, like, I've been to Fayetteville. That's a fun, like, Fayetteville's a cool town. It's a fun atmosphere. And they have, like, good facilities. Jerry Jones has thrown some money. Like, the 2 biggest boosters that you can have in, like, the United fucking States of America are Jerry Jones and the people who own Walmart. And they just throw money at, I swear, bro, they throw money at Arkansas like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, their facilities are so nice. Like, their football thing is called.
Like, we should do an episode one day where we just talk through, like, the list of SEC boosters for each school and just in the amount of money that gets tossed at these programs.
Yeah, it's insane.
It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. Like, there's so much money.
And for football. What? They just do it because they want to see the team be good.
Yeah, they do it because they like. Think about it. The Walmart people and Jerry Jones have so much money that it's just like, yeah,
are those
I'll
tax write-offs?
Huh?
Like, if you give money to a football team as a booster, is that a tax write-off?
That's a great question that I don't know. Let me look. That's funny.
You just give it away, right? Like, it's just a donation.
Football boosters tax write-offs.
Because it's honestly like such an American thing to give away money to something like a football team and get a tax write-off instead of a charity.
Okay, dude. All right, so here we go. Football deductions for football season. This is about to be hilarious. Other than okay, so let's see. Although tax reform did away, okay. Donations to university can be a tax deductible as long as they are 501. Okay, so yes, they can be tax deductible. So there you go. That's another reason they throw money there. Tax deduction. Dude, I'm about to start throwing some money towards. I'm about to be a Gator booster. Get these tax deductions, bro. Put me in the Champions Club,
I'm
baby. Give me
surprised
the
you're
buffet.
not in like the lower level of Gator boosters.
Oh, I will be. I
You're
will be
definitely
eventually.
not a fan that would do that.
Dude, someone texted me the other day and was like, you're definitely gonna be that dad that's like, I'm going to the Gator game. Shut the hell up. I'm like, yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I mean that's the goal, man. Freaking have a house on the water, and then every Saturday go to a Gator game. I mean, it is what it is. This year's been depressing. I don't know, man. 2020 sucks. I'm so ready for it to be over. Go to football games again.
Dude, I'm ready for it to be over too. Like I'm ready for man. I told you this on Sunday when we talked. The Georgia season has depressed me. I'm so tired of watching the quarterback play.
It'll be okay, buddy.
It's tough, man. I like the
You'll
Florida.
get hyped back up again when you guys have like the number 3, like a top 3 recruiting
Bro,
class.
this is not even a joke. The Florida game, I could have cried.
What did Zach say?
Zach wasn't even that upset. I was super upset. Zach was not that upset.
Oh.
Zach is like, this is what I think, and this is similar to what I said earlier. I think when Zach gets upset is when he feels like we should be better than we are.
He doesn't think that you guys should be better this year?
No, I think Zach kind of accepts that our quarterback situation is bad, and it's hard to be a good football team in 2020 if your quarterback situation is bad.
Correct.
Whereas I'm more of the opinion of like, we shouldn't have a bad quarterback situation at the University of Georgia.
Yeah.
Kind of like you were under McElwain. You were like, we're the University of Florida. We should not be losing this many games. We should be competing. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think that's how I feel right now is like, I don't care that Jamie Newman opted out. I don't care that Justin Fields transferred away.
Yeah.
We're the University of Georgia. We have the best recruiting classes year in and year out. We have some of the best coaches in the nation. That shouldn't be an excuse. Whereas Zach is more like, clearly we suck at quarterback, so like it makes sense that we're not going to be very good. And Zach is more of a moral victory guy where he's like, we had open receivers and we just missed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm more of a critical, like, we shouldn't be missing those open receivers type person. So Zach wasn't that upset. I was depressed. I was so upset.
Yeah. I mean, I get that.
Also, Florida is creeping up towards Auburn in my most hated teams list.
Why, bro? Why are you like that? Why?
I think you're making me hate them more and more.
Why? Because I finally get to talk about good quarterback play? Dude, it's
just because it doesn't matter if we've beat, like, before y'all beat us this year, it didn't matter that we've beaten y'all 3 years in a row. You still come across with this, like, cocky arrogance that I don't like and I don't understand.
Bro, that's just how I am.
I know, and that makes me hate Florida more.
I hate to break it to you, but that's how a lot of Florida fans are.
I know.
Bro, let us live in our moment. It's been 3 years. We're going to talk shit.
Right now,
it's a combination.
Bro, y'all could be playing against the Nazis in the national championship, and I would root for y'all to lose.
All right, so who you rooting for in Alabama versus Florida?
Alabama.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, who did you root for in Georgia and Alabama?
Fucking Alabama.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Like,
so who are your most hated programs? Auburn, Alabama, in what order? Auburn, Florida, Alabama?
No, honestly, Alabama's not even that high up there. I don't even really hate Alabama. To me, it's hard to hate Alabama because they're just great.
All right, answer
They're
this.
They're just great.
Answer this for me. In the scenario where Auburn and Florida are playing in the SEC championship, who do you want to win?
In a scenario in who?
You have to pick a team. Auburn and Florida are in the SEC championship. You got to pick, bro.
This year?
This year it's going to be you'd pick Auburn.
Yes, this year I would definitely pick Auburn. On a random year, oh my gosh, that's like the hardest question I've ever been asked.
You're so funny, dude. This is why you hate Florida so much this year. Number one, we beat you, and one of your best friends is me, and I talk mad shit. And number two is like we have a Heisman contender quarterback, and you guys are having a down year at quarterback, so it just makes it even worse.
And another reason I hate y'all is because y'all don't have a very good defense and y'all are still winning.
Yeah, because when we have an elite offense, I told you this earlier this year, and you shat on me. No one will ever compare to the LSU offense. The LSU offense is the best offense in college football history. But don't tell me that Florida's offense isn't fucking amazing to watch.
Oh, I never said they weren't elite. I just think like part of me is sad that football is going this way.
I know, because you're like a total like
Oh, I'm a
like defensive run the ball guy.
Yeah, not even run the ball. I just am a defensive guy. Like, I don't care what you do on offense, but defense is what I care about and what I love. And so it makes me sad that football's going the way of offense.
I mean, our defense has gotten better since.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about y'all's defense. I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, to be fair, LSU didn't really have a good defense last year either, but they had a good defense.
The truth is that in 2020, it's hard to play defense. Like, offense do so much and change up, and they can, like, throw different looks at you. It's very hard to be an elite.
You want to hear something that blew my mind? In one play, Dan Mullen has 15 different route combinations for one play. How do you guard against that?
You can't. Like, that's what I'm saying.
So
and I don't know that it, like, defenses can compete at this point.
I mean, they can, but it's like, can they compete? Can they win national championships?
Okay, let's ask this. How many points, what's the average amount of points a defense can give up and be considered elite?
I feel like you're an elite defense if you give up under 17 points a game.
Dude, I don't know if that's possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so that means an elite defense is actually a team that gives up around 25 points a game. If you give up 25 points a game, your defense is amazing.
Yeah, well, Florida only gives up 28 or 29 points a game.
That's not elite.
I know it's not.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, to be an elite defense, you have to give up 20 to 25 points a game. Bro, it wasn't that long ago that 20 to 25 points a game would win you a football game.
Yes, but now you're having to score at least 35.
At least.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's trending that way. We'll have to talk about that a little bit more, but, lots of stuff going on tonight, NBA draft, this, that, and the other. I'm about to not be a Rockets fan anymore. I know you don't care about basketball, but
Harden definitely going to get traded.
Dude, well, wherever he goes, I go. I'm sorry, man. That's just how I am. I know I am. For when it comes to professional sports,
especially in basketball, every fan hates you. But I feel like basketball fans.
No, LeBron too. LeBron
fans too. Basketball, it's more acceptable in basketball. In football, if you're a fan of a player and you just are a fan of whoever he gets traded to, that is like the lamest thing ever.
Honestly, I would have stuck with the Panthers if they just didn't trade away. If they didn't give away everybody. Yeah. Like, think about it. They got rid of Kuechly, Olsen, the coach, like 4 of the defensive linemen that I grew up. So it's like, all right, I'm gone. But yeah, I already told you I'm going. My new NFL team is wherever Pitts or Kyle Trask goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, we got a full slate this week, so that'll be exciting.
Thank goodness. I'm actually gonna watch football this weekend. I didn't watch football last weekend. Georgia's game got canceled, and I was still depressed. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a week off.
Take it off, bro. Well, now you're back, and y'all play who?
This week we play Mississippi State.
And all right, give me a score prediction before we go.
And they might score 14 points.
So
they're not good. And okay, so I know we're wrapping up, but I think Mike Leach is catching more heat than he deserves.
Yeah.
He's putting in a completely new system, not just in the terms of like that a different offense than they've ran in the past, but like a system that is not easy to run and that
But
is.
they just came out hot out the gate, and everyone thought that they were really good, and everyone didn't realize LSU was that bad.
And he's catching on heat, but he said it perfectly a couple weeks ago. Like, if you're expecting this to be perfect, my first season in, like, find another team. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like, the air raid, maybe more than there are two offenses in college football that are very, very personnel heavy. Like, you need the right personnel. Triple option and the air raid.
Yeah.
So give him time is what I would say to Mississippi State fans. But also, they're not very good. And Georgia, Kirby is like
So
heat up after that Florida loss.
yes, they're fun fact, Kyle Trask threw 6 touchdowns last game. Mississippi State has only thrown 12 touchdowns or throw 6 touchdowns last game. Mississippi State has only thrown 12 touchdowns all season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be a game that's like 40 to like 17.
Who do y'all play? Vanderbilt?
Vandy. Yeah, that's gonna be like 48 to 14 or something like that.
Maybe Dan Mullen will try to fight Derek Mason again.
Bro, that'd be funny. I need Dare to stop fighting all these coaches, so when we fire Grantham, we got options.
Yeah, bro, for real. I'm excited to see. Like, I'm still sad and depressed, but I'm excited to see what bowls look like. Georgia could obviously still be in the New Year's Six bowl.
I saw them playing Cincinnati in New Year's Six. That'd be interesting.
Nah, I ain't interested in that.
You want a Power 5 matchup?
Yeah.
Cincinnati's solid, bro.
I'm not saying they're not solid, but
the current matchups I saw for Florida was a New Year's Six, and we played Miami.
what? They don't think y'all might get in? Y'all might sneak in?
Bro, it's as simple as we have to win the SEC championship game.
That's true. I guess if somebody sneaks in, it'll be Texas A&M.
Which is fucking stupid because Texas A&M is only gonna play like 7 games.
Hey, there's no clause on like. Did you know this? There's no clause on bowls this year. Like, there's no.
Yeah, no. Yep.
Let's get that rematch, Florida Georgia in a New Year's Six.
That'll never happen, bro.
That would be amazing, though. You know how sick that would be? 2 Florida Georgia games in a year.
Do you really want to lose to Florida again?
I would like another shot at Florida for sure.
Bro, I'm being honest. You guys would still lose.
That's fine.
You're funny, dude. You'd be doubly pissed.
Nah.
You're funny. Well, all right, man. Well, go enjoy your family. Also, I haven't watched the Bachelorette, but I'm gonna text you about that.
You need to watch last night's episode and text me.
All right, man. I'll holla at you.
See
Have a
you,
good night, bud. See ya.